Welcome back to my channel. Caroline's back with us again. And we have so much to start to talk about.
Caroline's back with us
Wait,
again.
what's going on? Something's going on with it.
Caroline's back with us again.
It's like repeating.
It's echoing.
Oh, I had it open on my YouTube. That's why.
Oh, yeah, you might want to mute the YouTube.
I fixed it. But anyway, we have so much to talk about. I say we have a pro list, we have a troupe, and we have 5 celebrities.
Yes, we do.
I say let's start with the pros first. And then we'll do the troupe, and then we'll finish with the celebrities. And then it's doing it again.
Oh,
all right. Let's start with who's back. Like who's back from last season.
So we got Britt, we got our champion Daniela, we have Sharna in a surprising turn of events.
I'm still shocked by that.
We have Whitney, we have Emma, we have Brandon, we have Alan, we have Pasha, we have Val, we have Artem, we have Gleb.
Woohoo!
Am I missing some? Oh yeah, Louie's back since it's literally been. I realized today it's been 10 seasons since he was last on the show.
Maybe
it was season 21 was the last time he's on the show with Paula Dean.
Oh yeah,
and that was because Paula requested him.
And also Peta's back.
Oh yeah, Peta's back too. I was gonna save those two for like the end because they weren't here from last season.
Yeah, and then Coco as well, who's a new pro.
I'm so happy Coco's a pro. And everyone's like, but can she choreograph? And I'm like, she's literally she's almost exclusively done ballroom dancing since she left So You Think You Can Dance. Like
I know,
she's done
right?
some contemporary, but like the girl has put in, or the woman has put in like all her time and effort into ballroom, and she's good. She's
really
good.
It's just I'm excited to see her. I love when new pros are on the show.
I will say though, they need to shake up the male pro side here soon. It's getting a little stale.
It is. She was one of the best. Yeah, I agree with that. I think they're gonna make. I think you're gonna see a shakeup next year. That's what my gut's telling.
They had better because it's getting stale. It's getting a little stale on the male side. The female side has had so many changes over the last few years, and yet the male side has been pretty stale.
It seems like they want more male celebrities to win. That's one of the things I'm starting to notice a little bit. Think about it. They keep switching.
Well, no, so it's not so much that they want male celebrities to win. Male celebrities in general on the show have an easier time winning because the audience is majority female. So they tend to like the male celebrities more and go harder and be a lot harder on the female celebrities.
That's true.
I think that's part of why the male slate is kind of the same, is because they know the audience likes certain people, and they're like basically afraid to shake up I'm pretty sure some of them, they'll have to have some kind of blackmail on some of these I'm
pretty sure Gleb does.
He has to, because why else is he still there? His choreography is not he gave 3 good routines last season. 3. And he had one of the ringeriest ringers that there was last season.
And he literally fumbled.
And he fumbled the bag there.
It's just unbelievable. But as long as he gets an old partner, I really don't care at this point.
Or just someone who's going to be out early.
Yeah, I'm okay. As long as they get that, I'm okay with him coming
Although
back.
the last time he had someone who we knew was going to be out early, he basically ruined her experience on Dancing with the Stars.
Which one?
He had Nikki Glaser. And she's still to this day, she's like, he was horrible to me.
She had potential. She really did. And he threw it away.
And any other season, I think she would have done better. She would have made it a little bit, at least another couple weeks. And probably would have had a different partner. But Gleb saw, she can't dance, and just never bothered to teach her anything.
I swear. He's just awful. I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
know there's some people on here that love him and worship the ground he walks on. I'm not one of those people.
Also, a Russian propaganda poster.
Yeah. That's why I'm more surprised that he's back.
Well, I'm curious with Val being back and the way he called out all of the Russian pros for not posting anything earlier this year about Ukraine. I'm really curious how that's going to work
Same.
because one would think I mean, after he posted that, there were only two people who spoke up. And it was Pasha because Pasha / Daniela because they both still have family there. So they're like, that's why we're not saying anything. And Artem, who's like, I have family in Ukraine and Russia. That's why I'm not saying anything. I don't want to risk their safety. But then Daniela started speaking up a lot more. But then a certain Gleb and a certain man who's now in the Troupe didn't say a word.
Nope. Oh. And Louis has called out some of the pros before for their choreography.
He
Especially
called out Lindsay, but Lindsay's not back.
Before people ask, him coming back is not the reason why Lindsay's out.
No. Lindsay was out. Lindsay probably didn't even know he was in.
Yeah.
I'm really curious though as to why they've brought him back. I know that they're trying to like appease the oldies, but I feel like there has to be there's got to be an ulterior motive to bringing him back.
Two things I'm thinking here. One, someone specifically requested him, and it was a big enough celebrity that they could justify bringing him back. That's number one.
Which would have to be someone who's been a fan of the show for a very long time.
Which is
very older celebrity.
Which is very possible. I should make that 3. I have 3 reasons. Number 2, he's around the same height as Sasha, and they just wanted someone short to fill that spot. Number 3, he's going to be a same-sex couple, but an older same-sex couple.
I don't even necessarily think older. If it's someone in their 30s or 40s, I think it would still work.
True, but I just think
I would understand if it was like someone in their 20s not having him do it, but if it's someone in their 30s or 40s, I think it would work because he's also he was the show's first and Ezra is openly gay, but he's in Troupe, not a pro, so I'm not counting him. He's the show's only openly gay pro.
Yeah.
It would make the most sense if they've decided that they're going to do a same-sex couple or maybe have a drag queen on or something to have it be with Louis. And my guess too is if that's the case, I wouldn't be surprised if he approached them saying, hey, I've seen you've done this thing. I'd really like to come back and do this again.
It's very possible. There's a lot of possibilities and a lot of factors. Again, I think you're right about the same-sex couple, but I think also height-wise, I think it's both. I think they still wanted someone short enough that.
Well, and if it is a same-sex couple, the height doesn't matter because you can play around with who's going to be the lead and the follow, which makes it more fun for someone like Louis, who's probably used to being the lead and now can switch it up and be the follow.
True. There's definitely a lot of reasons. I'm most curious about him, and I'm most curious about PETA. Like, why are they back? Who are they paired with?
PETA, I'm almost certain. PETA, I am almost certain was a request. Someone requested her.
Has to be.
Because she seemed pretty done last season with the show.
Yeah. I wonder if Conrad coming back, plus it moving to Disney Plus is what sort of helped her and make her feel like, okay, I'll come back.
Well, I know that Conrad coming back was why
Val's back.
Yes.
But I'm wondering if that was the case for PETA too. If PETA's
probably was at least a factor for PETA.
I don't think it's the only factor. But I'm saying
I'm pretty sure someone requested PETA.
Yeah. But I think
sorry.
But I think him coming back too helped be like, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure that's why Louis back too.
Yeah. But we'll see.
I do think it's interesting. You can kind of see not quite favoritism, but you can see that Conrad definitely has some favorites he's pulling and people he really wants highlighted, and
Yeah.
they're all on the poster. Because if you realize everyone on the poster, are, with the exception of Daniela and Pasha, they are all some of Conrad's last hires he made on the show.
That is true.
Because his last season before now was season 18.
Yep.
Whitney, he
Yep.
just upped to pro. So he hired Whitney. Artem, he hired Artem for the Troupe. Brandon, he didn't hire, but he'd had Brandon on the show when he was a kid after winning
Yeah,
dance
exactly.
contests,
I was
like
just
dance.
about to say-
So like that's kind of coming full circle. Cheryl obviously has been here since season 2.
Yep.
The only two, and Danny and Pasha are there because Danny won last season and Pasha's her husband, so they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah. But I think also, too, to mention Pasha, he's more like the old school choreographer almost. Like, Len has praised his choreography and all the content and, like, how it's not as more traditional in past seasons.
Which I was saying earlier because someone mentioned, oh, Louis coming back. The traditional stuff is coming back. And I'm like, Pasha will be fighting for his life to stay Len's golden boy.
Yeah.
He is going to be fighting for his life this season.
Yeah. But I'm saying that besides being Daniela's husband, that could be also part of the reason why he wanted him included in the poster.
But that would also be Cheryl.
Yeah. I'm saying that, too. I'm saying it's not just the hiring part. I'm saying... I don't know what I'm saying, actually. The old school to new school.
Any of us really know at this point in time.
We don't know what this cast is going to be. Well, we know a third of it, but we have no idea.
We haven't discussed the Let's go to the Troupe and then we can discuss the celebrities.
Yeah.
Because we already hinted at the Troupe, but...
Yeah. Sasha is now in the Troupe. We'll talk about why he's in the Troupe in a second.
And Ezra's staying in the Troupe.
Yep.
Alexis joined. Alexis Warburton from winner of So You Think You Can Dance, which Kristen Burt said the only reason she's actually able to be in the Troupe was because So You Think You Can Dance did not do a tour this year.
Yeah. Which is no surprise there.
And then Katarina.
Okay.
Or Katarina. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but I will eventually. I also want Ezra as a pro, but
we all did.
Troupe, but I think part of it is he doesn't have as much choreography experience yet as like a Coco. I think being in Troupe for another season or two might do him some good, just so that he can kind of find himself as a choreographer first. Because my guess is too with the Troupe, they will likely choreograph some of their own routines that they do. Like there will be choreographers there as well working with them, but I bet they choreograph some of their own stuff. Yeah. And Ezra's only 21.
Yeah, he definitely has time.
Maybe 20. I think because he's younger than me. So he's like 20 or 21. He needs a little bit of I think, and that's one of the things Conrad did too, was especially he learned after Lindsay, like you don't just throw someone in usually and make them a pro. You have to give them a little bit of time. Which is why, like, Artem was up to pro in season 19. But he was in season 17 and season 18, or at least season 18. I think season 17 as well. He was in the Troupe.
Yeah, he was
like all of these people. Whitney was in the Troupe for 2 seasons before she got up to pro. Like most people, for the most part, he made people pay their dues before they got up to pro.
Yeah.
If someone like Coco has been made a pro now, that means that she's already proven herself to them that she's got the choreography and everything it's going to take to be a pro. Also, they needed a little more diversity on the female side.
Exactly.
Now they need it on the male side.
Yeah, he's 21.
Yeah, he's 21. He's got time. He has plenty of time.
Yeah, I think after season 32, I think either season 32 or 33, you'll see him as a pro.
Because they like to do 2 seasons in Troupe and then you up someone to pro.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that there were a few people who I think they learned with, like, that's you want to give them some time before they get up to pro so that they can kind of learn the ropes and find themselves. Yeah. I mean, Danny's a perfect example. If they gave her a season in Troupe, She became a pro, made it to the finals her first season, and won the second season.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it gave her a chance, kind of, especially if you're new to the show, to find to kind of learn the ropes a bit too. Coco also had the leg up of the fact that she did the Dancing with the Stars tour.
Yeah, which he didn't, because he was doing JoJo's tour.
Because he was doing JoJo's tour, and yeah, Alexis did the Dancing with the Stars tour as well, but also I don't think she's done all the choreography and
No.
her own choreography. Also, she's also like 21.
Yeah.
So
she's got time.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like also, so getting into Sasha a bit being there was the comment made of they just didn't have a partner for him, which, okay.
Which
we
is
know
bullshit.
He's also had, I mean, it's entirely possible that they
No,
just
but
didn't. But
again,
considering that a lot of the people we've seen being cast are on the shorter side.
Yeah, and Louis is the same height as Sasha. So they could have easily.
Yeah.
I know we talked about that, but I'm saying that height wise, it's not the reason why he's on.
Well, yeah, especially since a lot of the people who are being rumored / predicted are on the shorter side.
Yeah.
So height is not a problem, necessarily, that we know of. But he's had a history of back issues, especially this past year.
Yeah.
We don't know if that's necessarily a factor, but it's definitely something that's possible. I also could kind of see it as, because we have this troupe that's so much younger, and he's like a good 10 to 15 years older than most of the troupe. Kind of being like a mentor for the troupe in a way.
I think so.
Also, though, you'd think after your third time being demoted to troupe, you would get the hint, but whatever.
Well, we'll see what happens after this season if he decides to come back or not.
Mm-hmm.
All I can say is I love the fact that Emma's a pro and he's not. I'm just gonna say that.
Emma, my sister Emma, she wised up. She learned.
Yeah, she's definitely learned her lesson. You ready to talk about the celebrities? I think that's the part I'm waiting for.
Absolutely.
I say let's start with the double package deal we have.
The mother-daughter duo?
Yeah. Our first mother-daughter duo to compete on the same season.
Which is kind of surprising.
I know, it's surprised it took this long to get there. But we got Charlie D'Amelio.
Yep. D'Amelio.
And her mother, Heidi. Now, we know Charlie has dance experience. She danced with Derek Huff last year alone. That movie special he did.
Oh, that wasn't even last year. That was the beginning of this year.
Oh, beginning of this year. Sorry,
and Derek's been pushing for her to be on the show for the last two seasons. Like season 29, he was starting to say, I think we should get Charlie. I think we should get Charlie.
I think they finally did it.
I think they also did it because the move to Disney Plus, Hulu and Disney Plus are linked. The D'Amelios have a show on Hulu, therefore corporate synergy.
Yeah, I've been saying that, the synergy. But especially with Heidi, I think that's a good example of synergy. I guarantee you they wanted to do Charlie and Dixie, but couldn't get Dixie, so.
I'm okay with them not getting Dixie, though.
Oh, no, I'm saying I'm okay with that, too, but I'm saying that was probably the original plan.
Yeah, they probably tried, and she was like, no, I'm not available. Also, Charlie is the bigger name of the two.
Oh, God, yeah.
And I feel like they maybe did the mother just to, like, try and, get more of the parental audience.
Yeah, which I don't think is the way to do it. You get older celebrities that they recognize. That's how you do that.
Yeah.
But I think Charlie's gonna have Alan, maybe. We know she doesn't have Brandon. Okay, Kristen confirmed.
I'm thinking actually Charlie and Artem.
I can see that.
I think because I see them to a degree kind of switching up partnership tropes a little bit.
Yeah.
And discussing this with other people the other day, Artem, with the exception of Jamie and Misha, has had exclusively
older female.
Has had older, for the most part. Also, Caitlyn's an exception. Females over the age of like 45.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry, you go.
And I think he's one of the literal poster children for the season.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see some good partnerships for the people that made it to the poster.
Yeah. I've been thinking about Artem. I think one of the reasons why he gets older celebrities is because he can handle them. He has the right attitude for them, if that makes sense.
He does.
I can't imagine someone like Gleb being able to deal with someone like Melora or Leah well.
Oh, here's the thing. I think Gleb could. They've given Gleb older women.
I know, but I'm saying that I don't think he could give them the care that Artem could, if that makes sense.
Well, Gleb can't give any of his partners the care that they need.
I know that, but still.
It doesn't even matter the age. Forget age. He just
yeah.
I too want to see Pasha with a good partner.
He could get Charlie too. There's a lot of possibilities they could go with her.
There are. Someone actually said Charlie and Louie, and I'm like, that's gonna be mismatched personalities. I
don't think that. But
I think that would also be mismatched personalities.
Yeah. I don't think she's getting Val. That's for sure. I don't think she's getting Val.
No, I don't think she's gonna get Val either, because he just had a social media influencer last year.
Yeah, there's no way they're gonna do that 2 in a row.
They're not gonna do. I don't think they're gonna do 2 in a row. I don't.
And if Val gets one of the 2, I think he gets Heidi.
Yeah.
Heidi.
Yeah.
Heidi. I'm picturing Heidi with someone like a Gleb, someone like
Val.
Like a Val. Yeah.
With Val.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say, that those lines.
Yeah. So I see the mention of Charlie with Alan. And here's why I don't say Charlie with Alan, because we think I may have found some clues as to who Alan's partner
might have cracked his partner. If you want to mention it now, we can, and then we'll hop into the mail.
Let's go ahead and do that, just because Alan's been brought up already in the comments. So about a week and a half ago, I noticed that Dancing with the Stars all of a sudden started following Meghan Trainor out of the blue. Interesting, right?
Yeah.
Well, so I've been keeping an eye on it. And lo and behold, I checked last night, as I've been checking every night. And who all of a sudden, starting yesterday, started following Meghan Trainor? None other than one Alan Burston, who was not following her the week and a half prior. Maybe he's her partner. Maybe he followed her for another reason. Who knows? The timing is suspicious, though.
Yeah, very suspicious. That would be a great partnership, though.
That would be such a fun partnership. I mean, if they were the energy they would, because she reminds me in a way of kind of Amanda's personality.
Yeah.
A bit, but with less dance experience and a bit younger.
Yeah.
But
I would say that.
Still, they would be a fun partnership.
They would be. I kind of hope that happens.
And also, it would be a slightly different partner than he's had before. Because if you look at the trend of his partners, all of his partners are the size of my pinky.
Yeah, they're really small.
He's never had
someone
tall, a curvier partner.
Yeah.
Well, he's had tall. Amanda was taller than he is when they were in heels.
I always forget that.
But the size of my pinky, I mean, the width of their bodies.
Oh, okay.
He's had a lot of very skinny partners. The man has never had a curvy partner. I think it would be interesting to see. I would like to see him with a different body type partner.
Yeah.
Who may not necessarily be like someone who you're not just going to be able to do lifts and stuff with.
Yeah.
All the time.
Now I kind of want to see that.
I think it would be. She's on the tiny, or she's about 5'4", so she's not short, but she's not necessarily tall. So I think it would be a good partnership.
I agree with that.
It would be fun. It would be. They'd have so much energy.
Oh my God.
Love it. Though.
Me too. I would love the
Okay.
chaos.
So then let's go back to the people we already know about.
Let's hop into the male celebrities because I'm actually surprised we have more male celebrities we know of already than female celebrities.
I
It's
think
usually
because more of the female pros were already confirmed for us
yeah.
than the male pros.
It's still surprising though because usually the male celebrities we don't find out till like last minute. Most of them.
I mean, it depends on people's availability.
True, but again, I'm just surprised. That's all.
They do tend to have a harder time signing the male celebrities.
That's my point. That's my point.
So it is interesting. They clearly they've been working under the shadows, and we're just now finding all of this out.
Yeah.
Because people are starting to go to rehearsals. Because last year, I remember we found out a lot of the people, some of the people we found out prior to them starting rehearsals.
Yeah.
This year, it has been, for the most, with the exception of Charlie and Heidi, when they've started rehearsals, although we know Kristen Burt is trying to get some confirmation on Brandon's partner, who apparently is fire emoji.
I'm dying to know his partner so badly.
Literally, I'm like, listen, I appreciate the journalistic integrity. I appreciate her checking the sources and wanting to make sure everything is accurate. However, sis, drop the rumor. I'm spiraling. I need to know who I need.
Or at least give us a better hint than fire.
I mean, she's not giving a hint because she's not trying to say it because she doesn't have the confirmation yet.
True.
But also, like, I need a hint. Just give me a hint.
I think we'll find out this week.
All the partnerships by the end of the week.
Yeah. If that's the case, I'm going to cancel my live stream my live reaction to the cast reveal.
Because and because not only that, we'll probably know like the actual partnerships, not just like who's doing the show. Like we'll know who they're doing the show and who their pro is. And I hope the cast reveal they actually revealed.
I think they're going to do that.
I hate the whole no. They may not, just because they're like, well, we've already established like this one way of doing things, and we've done it for the last like 3-4 years. We're not going to change it now.
But
I would like them to change it now.
But Conrad could easily be like, I want.
Yeah, but we also thought the same thing with Conrad and Gleb because he's the one who fired Gleb last time.
That's true. Again, we don't know, but we'll see. Okay, let's talk about Joseph now.
Joseph, who for some reason I keep thinking his name is Jonah.
I think it's Jonah too.
The number of times I go and I start to like type up a message and I'm like, Jonah, I'm like, wait, that's not his name, is it? And then I have to like go and like reference the article to make sure that I've got the name right. And every single time I have the wrong name.
Yeah. Joseph Barrina.
Give me a second. I don't think that's how you pronounce his last name.
I don't.
Oh, because it's Joseph Baena.
Oh, Baena. I make it harder on myself.
Also, because there's no R in his name.
Yeah. He's an actor. He's a model, fitness competitor. He's also an Olympic lifter. I'm not sure what that means, but
weightlifting's an Olympic sport.
I forget that. But yeah, he was in the Olympics, so.
Oh. All right.
But he's probably best known for being the love child of Arnold Schwarzenegger and his maid.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this is the controversial celebrity we're getting, or do you think there's someone much worse looking in the show?
God, if this is the level of controversy we're getting, I would love it.
I with that.
Hope. I really feel like because they're trying to make the show more family friendly, they aren't going to lean in as much to controversy.
All I was going to say is go. I hope so.
I'm really hoping that, like, this is the worst week. And Jeanette McCurdy might be the most
she's going to be the headline maker, but I wouldn't call her controversial. I would say she's a headline maker, is what I would say.
I would love it if she does the show. And she did hint that she's trying to get back into acting a little bit, like slowly.
This is a great way to ease yourself back into it.
I
'Cause
feel
think
like it's
about
kind of like easing yourself in, but also kind of like going full force at the wall.
what's the best way I could put it? It's like your first time swimming, but you're choosing to swim in a big ocean.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's why I think
So
so she's part of why if Jeanette does the show, she's part of why I think Charlie gets Artem because I think Pasha would be the perfect partner for Jeanette.
I would agree with that. He
Because I
needs
think because she needs you
someone
need
nurturing.
someone who's certain degree of nurturing. Artem could be a good partner for her as well, but she's on the shorter side. She's like 5 foot. She's like
She's
5 feet,
5'2".
5'1".
She's 5'2".
She's tinier than Charlie.
Yeah,
Is the point. So I think Charlie gets the person who's a little bit taller.
yeah.
I mean, and not even taller by much.
I would
But
agree with that.
I think Jeanette would go to Pasha
Yeah, I would agree
because
with
I
that.
think he's got the right kind of quiet. I don't think she would be with necessarily with someone who's like super high energy, like an Alan or a Brandon. I think it's going to
Yeah,
be someone who's a bit on the more subdued, quiet, nurturing side of things.
yeah. And I think Pasha would be perfect.
I do too. Because Artem has already had, I mean, well, Misha was much in the earlier stages of recovery. Like
That's
Jeanette's like on the other side of all of that.
I think the problem is with Misha, she was not exact. She was still recovering. She wasn't
She was in the
so.
early stages of recovery because I remember someone during that season eventually like realizing like, oh, she's Jody, but 5 years ago.
Yeah,
Like Jody Sweeten when she was starting recovery.
and I think it was just too early for her to be on the show. I think if Misha joined a few seasons later, I'm not saying she would be a good dancer, but I think she would have handled it a lot better.
Yeah. That and I think quite frankly they would have had the pros that were available in season 22 versus the pros we have now.
Yeah,
I think I think she would end up with like an Alan now. And I
that's what
think
I'm thinking.
Alan would be able to much better handle her versus Artem, who at that point, Artem has definitely come a long ways, but at that point in time,
You're still
also
not there
because
yet.
apparently she just kind of like didn't want to do stuff. Like she kind of was like, what? Like she was just kind of, it was more than she thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
And
but
that
I think
frustrated
yeah,
him. But I think someone like an Alan would, I think now it would be different, but
yeah,
we're too
yeah,
little
more
too late.
positive experience. Yeah, I think she would have more positive experience.
Yeah.
Forgot what I was gonna say. This is never gonna happen, but I want Fran Drescher on the show so badly.
They've
I know,
asked her.
I know they've asked her. She's not gonna do it now because she's the president of SAG, but I want this so badly.
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for her to say yes in the next couple of years. I think
Yeah,
mainly it was last year was because she was still running for SAG
yeah.
president. She was still in the process of running and they were trying to figure out the COVID guidelines. And reportedly, even though she supports the whole vaccine mandate that SAG has, she's apparently anti-vax.
I don't think. I think the anti-vax rumor is untrue. I mean, I think it's.
No, that's not a rumor. She's posted
Oh,
stuff in the past,
oh.
like like a few years before.
So she supports the vaccine mandate, but yes, she's anti-vax,
Yeah, unless things have changed in the last few years or
which
so.
is
She
possible.
used to be, I mean, it's entirely possible. She used to be notoriously anti vax.
I mean, one of my family used to be anti-vax before COVID.
Yeah, I have the other way where they weren't until they were.
Yeah. We've gone completely off track, but I love that.
Yeah. All right. So we were discussing Joseph. Joseph, who's paired with Daniela. Interesting pairing. Don't know how I feel about it.
But here's the thing, though. She has had two celebrities that on paper seem like, okay, they're going to be early outs or they're not going to be dancing well.
I'd
And
like to note I never underestimated Amon because I knew his wife was a professional dancer and
I
I knew
know,
she
but
would not let him be bad.
But I'm saying though, on paper, you can see basketball player, rapper. You can see how on paper they might
I will say, I mean, on paper, people thought Nelly was going to be pretty good.
I didn't think that.
because he's Nelly. Like he had
Exactly.
a lot of, in general, I feel like a lot of people overestimate most of the musicians. Like they think like, oh, like they're a musician, they have natural rhythm, they're going to be really good, and a lot of the times that's not correct.
Yeah.
But then like when it comes to someone like, they're like, oh well, basketball players are never too good. We've only had like 3 basketball players on the show. You can't judge by, I feel like you can't, like with the football players, when we go in and we're like, oh, football player, they're going to be a good one, because we've had like 3/4 of the casting on the show and the history
Yeah.
has been football players, and they've all been notoriously good, partially because they have the work ethic. The one thing that I think a lot of people underestimated with, or overestimated with Amon, was his height. They're like, oh well, it's going to
Yeah.
be hard for him to dance, being, so what was he, like 6'7" or something
I
like
think
that?
he's the height of my dad. My dad's pretty tall.
Tall,
Yeah.
very tall, and Daniela is objectively not tall.
Yeah.
Like I think she is one of, if not the shortest pro.
Yeah. I think Joseph could pull. I think Daniela could pull some magic on him. I really think
I
so.
feel like he might be a little stiff. I feel like I feel like unlike her previous partners, he's going to do well in ballroom,
And then
not as
Latin's
good in the
gonna
Latin. Because
yeah.
I feel like, especially with all those muscles and stuff, he'll have a good frame,
Yeah.
but then it'll be harder for him to loosen up for the Latin stuff.
Yeah. Can we just talk about Nathan Chen with
Chen.
Coco? Chen with Coco.
Oh, I would love it. Although I will say,
she's kind of tall.
Because we're getting known, not that she's kind of tall, because I'm not getting Robert Irwin with Britt, because we'll get to Miss Britt.
Yeah.
I would love to. I think Coco and Robert would be a great pairing.
I would love that too.
I also would love Robert and Emma, which I think actually would probably be more like, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's only 18. Coco's a bit younger. Maybe, I don't know. But point is, Nathan Chen and Coco, I see the vision. I see the vision.
If we don't get Robert Irwin with Coco, I'll take Nathan Chen and Coco. I would.
Mm-hmm. I'll take that too. Gladly take it.
Let's talk about Daniel next. I want to say certain someone for last.
All right. Oh yes. Well, and I already mentioned Britt anyway, so it's a good transition of Britt. I'm not getting Britt and Robert because we've got Britt and Daniel.
Daniel Durant. For the people watching who is like, who the hell is he? Which is understandable because not everyone has seen Coda. Y'all need
Which,
to.
if you haven't, you should. It is a phenomenal movie. I rewatched it last night and was just reminded of like, yeah, I remember why this movie won Best Picture at the Oscars.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's the son in the movie, right?
He plays Leo, who's the brother.
Oh, the brother. Yeah, that's still the son, though, of the father.
The son, the brother.
Yeah, whatever you want to interpret that as.
Yeah, and then, and he also has a musical theater background.
Yeah, he's appeared in Spring Awakening.
That was one of the most recent ones he did, because he's worked. So there's this really famous theater company called Deaf West Theater.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
It's a deaf theater production company, and he's done with them Cyrano. He's done Spring Awakening and like one other show, which means he's done choreography.
Yeah,
he knows how to. He has dance experience.
Exactly.
He knows how he learns choreography, which will help Britt significantly because he can say, I have danced before. This is how I learned best. And she'll go, okay, great. Let's learn.
And another thing too, and Ethan mentioned it, he has a fun personality. He has one of those personalities that the older viewers love. Like, he's someone who's going to connect with them like right away.
And he's got a great story. And also he's got quite the story. Because growing up, so both his parents were deaf. And then, because I was looking at his Wikipedia, both his parents were deaf. And then somewhere along the line in his childhood, his aunt adopted him.
Yeah.
His aunt, who I do not believe is deaf.
Yeah,
his aunt adopted him. And so he's had quite the upbringing.
Yeah. I'm excited for him.
And also his Disney connection, he was on Switched at birth.
Yeah. I obviously there's another couple we'll get to we're all very excited about. But I'm probably very excited for him and Britt too. I think that's gonna be a fun pairing. I think
They're
Britt,
definitely the one I'm most intrigued about.
yeah. I think
I'm
Britt,
most excited to see. Also, if they do any kind of, it'd
the song
probably
from
be
Coda.
Both Sides Now, the version from Coda, because it's a Joni Mitchell song.
Yeah.
But if they do the version from Coda, I am prepared to sob my eyes out. Also, I bet we see Marley Matlin a lot in the audience.
Oh yeah, we're absolutely gonna see Marley Matlin.
Marley Matlin and Leah Thompson, because the two of them have both worked with him.
Yeah.
Multiple. Well, Marley's worked with him multiple times.
Yeah.
And I'm certain Marley does some packages too, because of the whole thing.
In the best way, I guarantee you Marley was part of the reason why he's doing the show. I'm pretty sure Marley's like, hey, you need to do this show.
I'm
It's
sure.
such
I
a
bet
good-
they asked him.
Yeah.
And then he went to Marley and she said, you would be foolish not to do it.
Exactly. That's what I think exactly what happened. I cannot wait to see them.
I'm so, like, that was probably, I was very surprised to see it when it was him. It took me a minute. I'm like, wait, I saw the picture. I'm like, where, that name, why is that name familiar? And then I looked it up and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's him.
Ethan, who's in the chat, he was the one who told me it was Daniel. I was like, no fucking way it's Daniel Duran. You're kidding.
Well, so you sent it to me and then it already had like his name on it. I'm like, that name sounds familiar. And then I looked it up and I'm like, oh shit, that's who he is. I'm excited now. I called it.
Hey, can we acknowledge the genius the producers had to dress up his interpreter as one of the celebrities? That was pure. Remember, they gave the interpreter the mask, and we all thought it was a different. We all thought that was another celebrity.
I
That
mean, it
was
borderline
genius.
looked like Brian Stokes Mitchell.
It really did, but that was genius on their part. Whoever came up with that, hats off to you.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, that's going to fool more people again when he starts rehearsing more.
Yeah.
Like
well, but now we know. But the thing is, we now know. And if he's with Daniel, then we know.
Yeah, but people are
going to
still
enter
full
with
for it.
Daniel.
Yeah.
So now on to
The
individual celebrity that I let out the loudest scream when I realized it was
Wayne
him.
Brady.
Wayne motherfucking Brady
I
is
can't
finally
believe
doing
this.
the show.
I cannot believe this.
I will say full disclosure, I did want him partnered with either Britt or Daniela, but you know what? Whitney's going to serve.
Yeah.
Whitney's going to get him to top 2, probably get her second Mirrorball trophy and another Emmy nomination in
Honestly,
the process.
Whitney needs a Mirrorball.
Whitney was robbed 2 seasons in a row. So
Yeah.
yes, 2 of her best choreography seasons.
Yeah, female pro wise, I think she's the one that really needs a win right now. Daniela will get her win. It just won't happen again.
Daniela just won. Just won. This is only her 3rd season. She has time.
Yeah, exactly.
She has time. Whitney has been at this for, dear God, it's been almost 10 years.
Yeah.
It has been 10 years.
I still just can't believe it.
But Alfonso said, my girl Whitney needs to have the best partner. And they said, understood. And they gave her Wayne.
They understood the assignment.
I wonder if he requested her.
That's very possible.
But I think, because here's the thing. He has everything Alfonso had and then some.
And then more.
Also, well, and the other thing is too, so he's a little taller.
Yeah.
So she can do all of the lifts and tricks that she likes to do that she couldn't do with Alfonso, but then he has the dancing capability, more so the dancing capabilities of Alfonso. So all of that choreography she had with him, plus all the lifts and tricks that she likes to do, she can do all of that in I'm not calling him the winner yet. We don't know the whole cast, but I am going to go ahead and say he's a lock for the finale because he also has fans in every generation. The oldies are going to know him as the host of Let's Make a Deal. The kind of more Gen X millennials are going to know him from Whose Line Is It Anyways?
Yeah.
Some of the younger people might know him from some of the acting stuff he's done. I forgot he guest starred on How I Met Your Mother as Barney's brother. Like, he's got fans in every corner of the spectrum, basically. Like, everyone knows. I feel like most people know who Wayne Brady is, even if they don't realize they know who he is.
Yeah, he's
And
one of
that's
those people you've
the-
seen everywhere.
and he's so likable. He's so likable. Like, the dude, he's not and
Look
he's
at
so
this.
freaking talented. I need them to do a Broadway week so that he can do Kinky Boots.
Yeah, I agree. He's one of those people, like, if you're not sure about him going into something, by the time you finish something with him and then you love him.
I need them to do a Broadway week so he can either do something from Hamilton or something from Kinky Boots.
It's
Preferably Kinky Boots, because I'd love to see him do ballroom in the thigh-high red sparkly boots.
Oh my god, I want to see Len's reaction to that. That's what
I need it. I need it in my life. I've been wanting someone to do. I've been needing a Broadway week, because I have Kinky Boots is one of my favorite musical soundtracks, and I've been wanting somebody to do a number to raise you up, which is like the big finale.
Yeah.
And it would be such a fun, like, cha-cha salsa number. And Wayne and Whitney doing it with Wayne in the full drag in the red sparkly heeled boots.
Yeah.
My life would be complete. I would give him all my votes every single time if he did just that one routine. That, for me, would be like how Alfonso had the Carlton.
Yeah, exactly.
Wayne doing Kinky Boots would be his version of the Carlton, and he would be the sole recipient of my votes if he did that.
I forgot what I was going to say. Now, here's my question real quick. Whitney and Alfonso had a jive week 1. Do you think he's going to have a jive 2?
No, I think he's probably going to have like a cha-cha or like a quick step.
Yeah, I'm thinking more cha-cha. That's what
she tends to. I've noticed Whitney, for the most part, tends to get cha-chas week 1. Like, that week 1 jive is like the exception, I think, because otherwise I'm trying to think. She tends to get either cha-cha or foxtrot week 1.
She had tango with Cal. Cal.
No, that was week 2.
You sure? I'm gonna look that up.
I'm pretty sure that one was week 2.
Pretty sure.
Or was week 2 the samba?
I think week 2 was the samba. I'm gonna look it up.
Week 1, I think, was their tango. I know it was to Sucker.
Yeah, it was tango.
Well, that's an outlier then. Like, the jive.
Well, I'm saying there's exceptions, but yeah.
Yeah, those are like the two. Otherwise, she gets foxtrot or cha-cha week 1.
Yeah.
And I think this will be a chance for her to kind of dig back into less of the hip-hoppy stuff and more of some of like the theatrical Broadway styling she was doing in her early seasons.
Yeah.
But like, she's still going to have some of those like hip-hoppy elements because he can do them. But I think this is going to be a chance for her to kind of reach back into more of like the tap dance musical theater side of things, which I'm so excited, especially because she's one of the only people who still actually trains in the off season. Yeah. So I'm really excited to see like what she comes up with, because that's one of the things, like, I know, so we didn't really discuss the Lindsay of it all. And we know, like, Lindsay, we don't entirely know why she's not back, but we kind of do know why she's not back. And one of the things is that with Lindsay, that I'm not actually super upset that she's not here, is that she doesn't train in the off season. She doesn't do anything to try and freshen up her choreography or learn something new, do some new stuff. Even Val this season, he was training in this past year in the off season. He's been training in other dance styles. He's been taking hip hop lessons, doing all that kind of stuff. Like, there's definitely this Disney Plus move really seems to have motivated certain people to try and freshen up things. But I also think, like, there's some people who you can tell, like, Whitney does the show because she loves to dance and choreograph.
Exactly.
Unlike Lindsay did the show because she wanted the fame and notoriety.
Yeah.
And dance was her way of achieving that.
You can tell that, unfortunately.
Yeah. And then some of her comments she made last season too, I do not think helped her whatsoever.
No, I think that probably.
They probably were not too upset when she went to them and said, I don't think I want to return.
They'll probably have to be like, oh, okay. Have to pretend that they were sad.
Oh, okay, yeah. But Whitney trains in the off season to make sure she's fresh and her technique is good, and give her some ideas.
Yeah.
which I'd like. I mean, we were able to see some of it last season, but not a whole lot, just because the Miz wasn't the best dancer.
No.
But like that salsa she did showed that the Britney Spears salsa
Was
really
really good.
showed that like she's got some new tricks up her sleeve that she's ready to bust out. And
Yeah.
Wayne, she can throw anything and everything. Wayne is her Jordan Fisher.
It really. She
Wayne
really.
is her Jordan Fisher, except that she can do tricks with him.
Yeah.
That is, I think, the best comparison I have. Is like Wayne is kind of like a cross between like a Calvin,
Yeah.
and a Jordan Fisher. The tricks of Calvin Johnson from season 23, who was with, I guess I love how I'm comparing it to Lindsay Partners.
I know, right? That was not on purpose.
Like, it's not on purpose, but like they're the best examples I have. Like Calvin Johnson from season 23 with all the lifts and tricks and all of that. And Jordan Fisher, who could do any dance move you gave him perfectly the first time.
Exactly.
Like, that's what Wanye is going to, or not Wanye, Wayne.
Wayne. It's
Wayne.
like one line.
The personality of Wanye.
Yeah.
The tricks of Calvin. Again, why did I choose another Lindsay partner there?
Oh, forget it. Just keep going.
I know, like the personality of Wanye, the like tricks of Calvin, and like the performance and dance ability / technique of a Jordan Fisher.
Wow.
And he has the fan base.
Wow. He's definitely the
like
front runner.
Whitney is in her bag this season.
I
Period.
cannot
The
wait.
only way they're not going to make the finale is if she doesn't show up.
Yeah.
And even then, they make at least the semifinals.
Yeah. So
Like,
what do you?
yeah.
I like this cast so far. I remember that everyone. This was before Wayne and Daniel was revealed. I remember everyone saying, "This cast is so boring. This is going to be."
They
the
weren't
worst
saying
season
so
ever."
much that it was boring and the worst.
I've
They were
seen
just,
more. I've seen
I was
more.
gonna say, oh, so if the people that I follow, they were like, it wasn't so much that they just weren't impressed, which I'll be honest with you, I was not super impressed. Like Charlie, before we had Wayne and Daniel, Charlie was the only one I was kind of intrigued with.
Yeah.
Mainly also because I wanted her with Brandon. Point is, Brandon needs a fire partner this year. I expect to see Sir Armstrong make it to at least the semifinals.
Yeah.
Or the quarterfinals. Quarterfinals would be the furthest he's ever made it. I expect him to make it to the quarterfinals this year.
At least, yeah.
At least the quarterfinals. Because I want to see him pull out some of the stuff he was doing with Tinashe. Because what the choreography he was giving Tinashe was giving me heavy shades of Derek Huff.
Yeah.
And I think he has that capability. We just have not seen it yet because he hasn't, aside from Tinashe, who was gone too soon for so many reasons, he hasn't had a partner since then with the same dance capability.
And it sounds like he does now.
If he does now, which I will be so happy if he does, he needs to.
I'm so ready to know.
Yeah. I will say I still have some casting hopes. Like I would love Jodie Benson to do the show.
Yeah, same.
I still
think they're gonna have that Disney princess connection. Something in my gut's telling me that.
I feel like there's gonna be someone. Jodie Benson to me would make the most sense.
She's the one I'm predicting.
But it could be somebody else. Also, because I hate to say it, we need to have. I mean, I'm still holding my theory. We might get Yvette Nicole Brown, in which case she's in the new Enchanted movie, so that's kind of a princess tie-in there.
Disenchanted.
So maybe, but who knows? Also, like I'm just keeping an eye. I will say I do have a dream partner now for Brandon, and I know it'll probably never happen, but wouldn't it be so fun if it did? Brandon and Hannah Waddingham.
Well,
that would be the best partnership. Also, because dance.
You have to play as them and Showdown.
Next season, the next season I've reserved them already.
Yeah,
go ahead and mark it down on your list. I've reserved them.
Wow, that's a good one. But yeah,
still thinking a High School Musical connection in the cast. You know, I am keeping my eye on Sophia Wiley
Yeah, I am too. I'm starting to
because she would be a good Brandon partner.
She was Brandon was one of the people. Was one of the first pros she followed last year. So
I don't see if she was following him now.
I'm not saying now, but I'm saying though.
Yeah.
I could see her being like, I want Brandon as my partner. I can
Also,
see
she's a bit
that.
on the taller side, isn't she?
She's a little bit taller. I'm gonna look it up.
I think she's a little on the taller side because she tends to Well, now I'm also going into the Instagram.
She's 5'7".
Yeah.
5'8".
That would work perfectly for
Yeah.
one Brandon.
Yeah, that would be perfect. I would agree with that.
Hi, Jimmy.
She's not following Brandon anymore.
Yeah.
She is only following Ezra, or Ezra's following her. Keo is following. Oh, that was the other thing I noticed yesterday. I think I messaged you. Keo is following her.
Huh.
I don't know why Keo would be following her, unless he's just a fan.
She's a huge fan of the show. I know that. She has
Yeah.
mentioned before in interviews she's a huge fan of Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, but to only have Ezra and Keo.
Well,
Nick, get off your computer and go to bed.
Ursa makes more sense than Keo.
Yeah, Ezra.
Yeah, Ezra. I got it right. Ezra makes more sense than Keo because
Ezra.
Again,
You said Ezra.
You know who I'm trying to say. Ezra.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like that makes sense because they worked. I mean, his sister worked with her on the show.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But
JoJo's on it too. And I can see JoJo.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, JoJo was a guest star.
Oh God! Please don't let Sophia Carson do the show.
I don't think she's gonna do it. I don't.
She's got that Netflix money now.
Yeah, she doesn't need
that stupid, horrible movie.
Which is, again, so many people.
There's so many problems with that movie. I will say though, there is I am looking at Sophia Carson's account, and it won't let me like necessarily look, but you can see like the mutuals. So either she follows them or they follow her.
God damn it! Get over here!
I'm not Nick first. I don't know. I was talking to my friend. Give me a second. I'll wrap up. I gotta head out.
So interesting. I don't know if these people are following her or if she's following them. But we have Alan, we have Whitney, and we have Cheryl and the official Dancing with the Stars account.
Interesting.
Under mutuals. I don't know if that's her following them or they follow her.
Yeah.
Because it will not let me look at that.
Yeah.
I think Whitney's following her just because I think Whitney's like a fan.
Yeah, I think so too.
But yeah, I am intrigued. This season is intriguing me. I'm excited to see where things go and who else we get. What other theories do you have on people we might get? We know I have two because I discovered that because Adam Raya is either leading us off track or is setting us on the right track.
Or both. One of them could be on it and the other one not.
Yeah, because we have Spencer Boldman,
who's been heavily rumored.
So Adam Rye is a producer of Dancing, is one of the producers on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
And he always posts like when he's in the studio and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And he either recently or we just noticed he's following Jennifer Love Hewitt and Spencer Boldman.
Yeah.
Both of whom have been rumored to be doing the show. I will say, I think if Jennifer Love Hewitt's doing the show, I think she requests Alan because of Amanda.
I can see that.
Because like that woman like was leading the Alan Burstyn fan club last year. Like she was his biggest fan.
Yeah, that was so true. I don't have theories, but I have like gut feelings, if that makes sense.
Who do we have?
Jeanette McCurdy. She's
Yeah, but
more.
she's also been rumored though, so that one's a little more legitimate. Like,
But I still don't have enough to say, okay, she's 100% on it, or like, you know what I'm saying?
we know they've at least asked her. We just don't know.
Which should shock no one.
We know they've asked her. It's just the question of, did she say yes?
That's
Which
the
I
question.
think we will find out this next week.
Yeah. Who else? Definitely someone from High School Musical show. I'm not sure which one yet.
I have an idea.
Who?
Louis has partnered with someone from High School Musical before. If, say, a
Monique.
former High School Musical cast member were to be asked to do the show and talked with a friend who was a High School Musical cast member who did the show, might say, hey, you should request my former partner, Louis, if you're Ashley Tisdale.
Tisdale.
Or Daniel Bishop for him is a good idea, actually.
Yes.
That's entirely possible.
That's a very.
I hadn't even
She's
thought
another
of that.
one who's been a huge fan of the
And
show.
she's tiny, if I recall.
Yeah, she says she's watched the show for years and years too.
She's 5'1". That would be perfect, actually.
Yeah,
and they'd probably go far.
Yeah, they would.
Yeah, I'm kind of now thinking, if there's not a same-sex couple, I think he's either there for Danielle or Ashley.
That's what I think too.
I think, if I recall, I'm looking up Ashley's height right now. Because if I recall, I think she's tiny. Ashley's 5'3", so that would work. And considering that Louis partnered with Monique,
yeah,
and there's been all kinds of High School Musical stuff going on lately, because clearly something is happening.
I think they're reunion.
I think because it's this year's the 15th anniversary of the second movie, so I bet they do some kind of reunion for it.
Same.
Also, why was Chris? Although I want to know why Kristen Chenoweth was involved.
She might be hosting it. They do
But
have
why?
like.
But she has no connection to the movies.
I know, but she's Kristen Chenoweth. I mean, who wouldn't
That's
want
fair
her
enough.
host stuff?
Yeah, but she also doesn't usually host things. Like, that's not her thing.
She actually did host the show on Food Network.
And I know that she hosted the Wicked special when they had that anniversary. Point is, there's going to be someone High School Musical related. I don't know if it's the show or the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, because jury's still out on if Joshua's doing the show or if he's, because they're also taping around that same time too.
Yeah, I'm still not sure which one it's going to be.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out. I don't know if it's going to be someone from the movie or the show.
That's the thing. I just don't know for sure.
Because if it's someone from the movie, I think it's either Ashley or Lucas Grabeel.
Yeah. Yeah, same.
I think one of the two of them. Also, maybe Ashley, just because she has even more Disney connection because she did Sweet Life.
And Phineas and Ferb.
Has Brenda's Song ever done the show?
No, she's never done.
Brenda's Song would be great. Also, because she had a show on Hulu.
Yeah.
And Ashley's had all kinds of like shows on like Freeform and whatever they called it before.
Yeah. Ashley was the voice of Candace and Phineas and Ferb too.
Yeah. Well, and then she was involved with the show Young and Hungry, which had another Disney alum.
Yep.
Emily Osment, and at least like one other show on there. She was supposed to have a spinoff too.
Really?
I don't know about Matt Cornett just because we already have half the cast, the male side of the cast, we already have half of. And we don't have, or almost half of it.
Yeah, almost half.
There's still no musicians and no athletes.
But I don't know. I just can't, I don't have a feel. Like,
Also
I'm
because,
excited.
Because I don't know. I'm pretty sure we get Robert Irwin. I am pretty sure we get Robert Irwin just because they'd be foolish not to get Robert Irwin, quite frankly. So I think we get Robert, which is kind of like your one person who's like the kind of your wild card, doesn't really fit any of the typical categories.
He's not a traditional.
He's not
a celebrity, but he's not a super traditional celebrity.
He's a non-traditional celebrity, yeah.
I don't know.
I think we get at least 2 athletes, and they're both. I hate to say it, both athletes are probably. I think we get no. I think we get 2 athletes, 1 male, 1 female.
I think a female basketball player is possible.
Sue Bird. I think if they do it, I think it's Sue Bird, and it might be a same-sex partnership.
I have Candace Parker on my predictions. I'm not sure why I have.
I said Sue Bird because she's dating Megan Rapinoe, and she just recently retired.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And she's kind of a big name and has been speaking up a lot about Brittany Griner.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking. Like I'm trying.
Marcus Scribner would be on my wish list as well. He'd be great.
Mine too.
I'm trying to think of the athletes because I think Nathan Chen on the male side and maybe one other athlete. I think we get 2 or 3 athletes. For sure, 1 male, 1 female, and then maybe 1 more.
Yeah.
I know you think Gronk, but I don't know about
I don't
Gronk.
think him anymore.
Because it's based on who we have left. I think because so the female pros who have no partners that we don't know their partners yet. We got Peta, we got Sharna, we got Coco, we have Cheryl.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think so, yeah.
So I think Cheryl always gets an athlete, so I don't think it's going to be Cheryl, but I don't know who Cheryl gets.
I don't know.
Robert. I don't think she and Robert would be a good match.
I think she's gonna get someone unexpected, I feel like someone we're not gonna see coming.
The only thing is Emma. I forgot about Emma.
Yeah. Well, we don't know if she's back from Europe yet.
Yeah, we do. But we know that she's in.
Yeah, we know she's in, but we're not sure if she's.
They're probably all going to be back this week. She's probably coming back like today.
Yeah, I think she'll probably start rehearsing Tuesday. I'm thinking
most of them, yeah. Most of them are. I think we're gonna get. Most of them are going to start this next week. But so we got 5 female pro. Wait, does that mean we have? Yeah, that would make sense.
We have 7 and 8.
Pros.
Yeah,
we have 7 and 8. Yeah,
pros.
So we've got 5 female pros. I think. Oh, I didn't mention this. I think Peta's going to get Cheyenne Jackson. I think. Because they know each other, like their kids. I think I don't know if they still go to school together, but I know they at least used to go to school together, and the 2 of them seem to like go to parties and stuff together.
Yeah.
So I think Peta and Cheyenne. Sharna's the one I'm not sure who she gets.
She might get someone older. She might get someone who might not have the potential, just because she's still.
No, see, because if anything, first of all, she's going to want to go all out. But, and she had to have a spine. Sharna's had enough bad partners. Like, let's give the woman a break. She hasn't had a good partner in a few, she's had like partners who like were good people, but not like great dancers. I want her to have someone who is a good dancer.
I think the last person she got who had like dance experience was Nick Carter.
I don't even need someone with dance experience. I just want someone who's a good dancer.
Yeah.
Because the last person she had who was like a good dancer was James
Hinchcliffe, yeah.
And it's been a minute.
It's been a while.
I'd like her to have someone who's like an actual good dancer.
Same.
I just don't know who that would be. Based on the people we're thinking of. Yeah, because Peta is the tallest of the female pros that's left. I think Sharna and Emma are both like 5'5", 5'6".
I know Coco's pretty tall too.
She's not necessarily tall. She's like 5'3", 5'4". She's like 5'4". She's like mid-height range. Sophia was the tall one.
Yeah.
But by the way, Sophia, so sad about that.
I can't believe that.
That's just kind of like that's so. I don't understand.
Something must have happened.
Well, I mean, maybe she auditioned for the pro spot and didn't get it, or she decided she just didn't want to come back. But that seems because she did the tour. She toured.
Yeah, I know. I don't get it.
I don't know. I feel bad for her.
Me too.
Unless it was like a personal choice, in which case, good for her.
That's probably what it is. I think it's more of a personal choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have 5 female pros left, like that haven't had a partner,
Yeah.
and we have all the male pros because we still don't know who Charlie and Heidi have yet officially.
Okay, so we still think Nathan Chen's a possibility. What about Nathan and Cheryl? Because Cheryl's the shortest of the pros left.
That is possible. I just can't
That would
picture.
be an interesting pairing.
I
It
I
would
just
be
can't
different.
picture it. I'm sorry. I just
It
can't.
would be different. I don't know if it would necessarily be good, but it would be different.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Because
It's
Nathan's
possible.
5'6", and Cheryl, is the shortest pro,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
is the next shortest pro.
Coco's like 5'3", and
Oh, so
Nathan's
she's
like
so
5'6".
she's the same height as Daniela and Whitney.
Yeah. So he could easily work with Coco.
Yeah,
Guy wise.
I think Cheryl's like 5'2".
I'll look it up.
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay.
Cheryl is 5'4". Never mind.
Yeah, so she's a little
Yeah.
taller. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
think
think Coco's
Coco's
about the same height.
I think
like
Coco's my
5'3",
guess for
5'4".
Nathan.
If it is Nathan, I mean,
If it is.
he's still in school.
I just it's a great cast so far. I just can't get a feel who the last 10 will be.
I think Emma and Robert. I'm thinking Emma and Robert seems the most likely. I feel like the two of them would mesh really well. Because
Yeah,
Emma's got the same kind of because Robert has a similar energy to Bindi, and Emma has a similar energy to Derek.
that's true. That's
Not necessarily choreography wise, but energy wise, Emma reminds me a lot of Derek. And I think the two of them would get along so well.
They really would.
Also, because Emma's good with the as we've seen, Emma's good with the much younger people and the older people.
Yeah. She struggles in the middle, but she does well with the really young and the really old.
The old ones, yeah. The ones in the middle, I mean, she does really well with everyone, but not all of the pros are really good with the older and the younger, and she's really good with the whole spectrum.
Yeah.
So that's like they could give her literally anyone, and she could make them dance pretty well.
I would agree with that.
So Emma and Robert.
I think we're still gonna get a Netflix star. I still think that.
Well, if we do that, I think it's going to be a Netflix star who also has a Disney project. It's got to be someone, because I don't think they're going to that would be like a Sophia Wiley who has the School of Good and Evil, but she's also on a Disney show, because they're not going to outright promote
that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. Because they had someone from Cobra Kai. I don't think we're getting that again.
But that was also when they were on broadcast TV, and with broadcast, it's different because all the late night shows have people from competing networks and stuff because it's on broadcast television. But when you're on a streamer, you're not trying to get people to go subscribe to another service. You want them just to subscribe to yours.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot.
With the Netflix thing you mentioned, Daniel Durant was on You.
I forgot that.
He was Love's ex-husband, or Love's husband, who she killed.
Okay, never mind. There's the Netflix connection.
I had forgotten, and then I was looking at him who was he on You? And then he's the husband that Love killed.
Yeah, that's crazy. There you go. But yeah, that's insane.
So we got Robert. I'm trying to with our predictions, kind of pair up all the pros we have left.
Jody and Alan. I still think Jody's gonna happen.
I think it's Jody and Megan. There's too many signs pointing to Megan Trainor. Or no, not Jody and Megan. Alan and Megan. There's too many signs pointing to Megan Trainor.
Okay.
I would love Jody and Alan, though. I think that would be a great partnership, and it would be so much fun.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah. I'm just trying to think. Do you think they... No. Never mind.
No, tell me. I'm curious.
I was about to say they're going to get someone for Blackish, but I'm like, Blackish is over.
Marcy Martin.
Oh, yeah. That was a possibility.
because they're not going to do Miles, because he did Junior.
Yeah.
He did juniors, so he can't. I don't think he can do it. He probably won't be able to. He could do an All Stars maybe, but
Yeah,
not.
he could probably do All Stars. Yeah.
I know Ethan here suggested Marcus, but Marcus is a little busy.
Yeah,
with
with his new
Grownish.
show.
He's
Yeah.
got Grownish.
Yeah.
Anthony's not going to do it. I don't think Tracy does it either.
I want Tracy to do it, but that's never happening.
Jennifer Lewis.
Yes.
I don't know if she would do it, but God, she
I
would
could
be
see
amazing.
her doing it. I could realistically see her doing it.
God, she'd be so good. Let me look up.
If
Okay.
Abbott Elementary was not filming right now, I guarantee you they would have got someone from Abbott.
Oh, there's your other male is Larry Owens. No, Larry Owens would be the same-sex partnership if they do a male one, I think.
I could see that.
I could see Larry and Louie. That would be such a fun partnership. I don't know if they do it, but I need it now. I need it. Yeah, because the problem with Abbott is the shooting schedule. Because of the fact that also because they work so much with children, they have to like be a lot more careful with their shooting schedule.
Yeah.
And only work within certain hours because of child labor laws.
Yeah. I think that if they weren't filming right now, I think we would have Lisa and Walter.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Like I would I would bet money on that.
If the show were to go back to twice a year,
she would do it.
Do a spring season. She would do spring season.
If
they would be done filming they would be almost done filming by the time the spring season would begin.
I will say this. If it's a success, if the show's a success, like Dancing with the Stars, if moving to Disney Plus is a huge success, I can see them doing a spring season.
Not this year, but
not this year. But I'm saying though,
after season 32, maybe I see them going back. I also could see them reviving juniors on Disney Plus.
They could. I'm surprised.
I could, because they're testing out the whole live streaming thing, but I could see them. I could see them possibly reviving Dancing with Stars juniors.
Same.
The only thing is you'd have to find a whole crop of new junior dancers because they're all like 17 now.
Which they could easily do. There's a whole show on Netflix now just dedicated to young ballroom dancers.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'll find it later and send it to you. But
all right, yeah. Let's see. Still pairing people up. PETA and Cheyenne. So Emma and Robert, PETA and Cheyenne.
Artem and Jeanette.
Oh no, I want to get through the female pros first, and then we'll do the male pros.
Okay.
Coco and Nathan?
I think that's what I'm guessing right now.
God, that would be such a strong partnership to start off with. Like, whoo.
Well, to be fair, Rick got Johnny Weir.
But Johnny Weir's retired.
And it was a last minute casting.
He was a last minute casting, and he's a retired figure skater. He's older than Nathan. Nathan is still figure skating and is likely going to be at the Olympics again.
Yeah.
In another 4 years.
Yeah. Him and Charles were last minute castings, and Neve.
Neve was signed like the night before the show.
Yeah.
And we just have to find someone for Sharna.
Who knows? Sharna's might be a last minute casting. You never know.
I feel like though if she's locked in already, I feel like this season it may not be so last minute. I feel like this season has been more thought out.
They might have already.
The fact that they already have the entire slate of pros now, versus a lot of times where they wait until like right before they begin rehearsals to tell them like, oh, by the way, you're going to be a pro.
Yeah.
And, like they've known apparently for at least like a week now who's going to be pros. Most of them earlier because of the poster. Like, I think they're definitely they're investing more time and effort into all of this year.
And money because
yeah, that too.
Here's the one thing I'm going to wonder real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if the fact that it's going to Disney Plus,
mm-hmm.
Actually, that's just the only reason. The fact that it's going to Disney Plus. Do you think more celebrities are going to be like, okay, we'll do it now that it's on Disney Plus?
I don't think
I
it's
don't
so much
mean big.
that. I don't think it's so much that. I think it's Disney's going to start writing it into people's contracts, which
Yeah,
ABC was starting to do there towards the end.
yeah,
Like Charlie Sheen had talked about, like he was talking to ABC about trying to do a show, and they're like, you can do a show if you do Dancing with the Stars.
yeah,
Like, we'll let you do a scripted show if you also do this. And I think they pitched the same kind of thing to James Vanderbeek. Like, he had signed an
yeah,
overall deal with them that ended up falling through. But
yeah.
I can see them for Disney Plus doing something. Oh, Frankie Jonas and Cheryl.
There we go.
Because I still think Frankie's going to do the show. I
still
have
think
the
so,
feeling
too.
Frankie's going to do the show. And I think he and Cheryl would be a decent partnership. Or Coco. But I think Coco goes with Nathan Chen.
Same.
Um,
Do
and
you think
then
we're
that
going to
just
get a
leaves
football
someone for
player?
Sharna.
Do you think we're
If
going
we
to
do,
get
I think they might be with Sharna.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to predict.
Maybe
Random
if I
football player. I don't think Gronk is going to be on the show anymore. Here's why.
no, they're not going to be able to get Gronk.
Because here's the
I
thing.
really don't think
He
they
has said before he would do it if his girlfriend is allowed to do it the same season.
And he already did the Masked Singer. Like,
Yeah.
there's quite frankly, he has nothing really, like, Disney's gonna try and promote their brand as much as they can in various different ways. So if he signs with like ESPN for like some kind of deal, then maybe he does the show. But
Yeah.
everyone that they hire is gonna have some kind of connection. For the most part.
Joseph so far is the only example.
Joseph and Robert would be the two that like don't really have, and I mean, like a Nathan Chen's not going to because the Olympics air on NBC and figure skating's an NBC thing.
Yeah.
But he's Nathan Chen, so they're gonna want Nathan Chen. Oh, okay. So Sharna, I'm leaving a question mark just because I can't figure her out who she'd be with right now.
I hope that we find out her partner this week.
I think we probably will.
Well, they're all going to leak out like a sieve, so.
Yeah.
They're all going to leak out like a sieve. Like a sieve.
So now we're on to the male pro side of things.
Which is a little harder because we have two female celebrities but no partners. Yeah.
Correct. I think Val and Heidi.
Yeah.
I think Charlie and Artem.
I'll say him. I'll say them. Because I was debating between him and Pasha in my mind.
I think Charlie, because I think if we do have Jeanette McCurdy, I think Jeanette McCurdy is with Pasha.
Yeah, now that I think
Jeanette McCurdy is shorter than Charlie.
Yeah. Not by much though, like only by an inch.
An inch or two, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 3. Louis and Danielle.
Yeah.
Or Louis and Ashley, depending on which one it is. Alan and Megan.
Yep. So that's Brandon. So Brandon's left and Gleb.
Jennifer Love Hewitt and Brandon.
Yep.
You know what? I'm switching things around. We're going with Gleb and Heidi because I'm going to go with Jody and Val.
I can see that.
I think Jody Benson and Val.
Yeah. And then for Gleb.
I could be wrong, but yeah, because I don't want her with Gleb. And she's 5'7", so she's on the taller side. So that would leave her with either Alan, Val, Brandon, or Gleb. And based on Kristen's comment, I'm pretty sure Brandon's going to have some kind of ringer.
Yeah.
The question is who?
Yeah. That's the $1 million question. We have no idea.
Yeah. I'd love it if it was Sophia Wiley. That would be so much fun.
Well, I think this week we'll know all the pairings. I'm probably going to do a live stream again next week. Because let's be honest here, we're going to have all the couples.
We're going to have them all before the 8th.
So
we always do.
On Sunday, I'll come back here and we'll talk about it.
We'll regroup based on new information.
Yeah, I know you guys. I love the thumbnail I chose for this video. It was Amy and Derek's contemporary.
Oh, that they first of all, they are my favorite couple ever on Dancing with the
They're
Stars.
mine too.
They're the reason. So I started watching Dancing with the Stars in season 18 because I was at a family function at my grandma's house and I needed to escape and not be social. So I went
Yeah.
back into her bedroom and turned on the TV, and the only thing that was on, because The Voice was on commercial at the time, was
Yeah.
Dancing with the Stars, and it was Disney night.
Oh,
And it
her
was
waltz.
Amy and Derek's waltz. And I was hooked. I was hooked. I couldn't stop watching after that.
I absolutely loved her. She should have won season 18. I don't care what anyone says.
Listen, Elise Max then won it and then left us. I mean, left us alone for long enough.
Yeah. I would agree
He
with
did
that.
eventually come back, but
Yeah.
we got
but-
what was it, 4 or 5 seasons without him?
yeah, we got 5 seasons.
So I also had seen some of season 17 as well because I'd flip back and forth during commercials while watching The Voice, but
Yeah.
like I wasn't really watching it. I was just bored during commercials. So yeah.
Mine was season 16. I had a little crush on Zendaya.
Didn't we all though?
No, on Shake It Up especially. I was like, I have to watch Dance with the Stars now. And I fell in love with it.
Yeah, I think I saw clips of her on it, but I didn't like watch it. Also, I knew who Kelly Pickler was, and I liked Kelly Pickler at the time.
Yeah.
So like I wasn't watching it then, but like I was.
You were familiar
Absurd.
with it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the next season had Amber Riley and Corbin Blue. Oh, you know what? We didn't finish all of the lineup yet.
Who else?
I feel like we're gonna get. I feel like we're gonna get someone from Glee.
I
don't. You know what we did? We did. I feel like we might get somebody from Glee because
Chris
it's now
Colfer?
streaming on Disney Plus.
What about Chris Colfer and Louis?
I was thinking Jenna Ushkowitz or however you pronounce her last name.
Yeah, she was.
Jenna.
Yeah, she almost won Showdown. She almost. did.
And because I think it's going to be the crowd. It's going to be because like her. I feel like at some point Kevin McHale is going to do the show.
Eventually, they're gonna have to do.
I'm pretty sure he's going to do it at some point. But he and Jenna have a podcast
And
together
honestly-
where they think like.
Honestly, I've thought of him with Emma before. Kevin and
I think
Emma.
he would do a same-sex partnership.
Well, now he would, but I'm saying that
Now he would, but back in the
Well,
day,
back in the day, I thought of him and Emma would be a good pairing.
he and Whitney, if he weren't to do one, he and Whitney would be good partners.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
when
yeah, I
say-
feel like someone from Glee.
Yeah.
My dream would be Alex Newell.
Yes.
That would be
Say that.
the best.
I was hoping someone would say that.
I want it to happen. I don't think it's going to happen, but I want it to happen.
It might. You never know. I've already seen stuff.
Actually, so not someone from Glee. You're right. I'm taking back my someone from Glee this season. Someone from Hamilton. I'm thinking maybe Jasmine Cephas Jones.
Yes.
Because she was in Hamilton.
Yep.
So you have that Disney connection. But
Yep.
she's also one of the quote unquote smaller names. She has a very famous father.
Yep.
And she had the very messy breakup with Anthony Ramos.
Yeah, that's true.
Although we are still missing a Marvel person, and I feel like they're going to get someone who's somehow connected to Marvel. I just don't know. I can't figure out who.
Yeah, I can't figure it out either.
Because I don't think it's going to be Matt Lintz. I really don't. I can't figure out who it's going to be, though.
That's the problem. I just picked up because I don't know who else to pick.
Like, I feel like they're going to try and get someone from Marvel, but I cannot figure out who.
What's Marvel's next project anyway? Like, what's supposed to come out next?
Well, currently She-Hulk is coming out.
Okay.
And after She-Hulk, it's Wakanda Forever.
Okay.
Because I don't think there's any other shows coming out this year.
Do you think they would get... No, I don't think they would get someone from Wakanda Forever. Who's on She-Hulk right now?
She-Hulk? You know, I thought about this as a possibility because I do think this person might do it if asked. Jamila Jamil.
Yeah, I can see her doing it.
And she's tall. She's really tall. So
Yeah.
like Brandon and Gleb would be the only two people she could partner with, because she's like 5'11", and I think Brandon's like 6'2".
And also, this is never happening in a million years, but Renee Else Goldsberry from Hamilton would be excellent too.
Renee Elise, I would die if she did that. She also though has her Peacock show.
Yeah, but she's also on She-Hulk too.
Yes, but Girls Five Eva, well, no, they haven't renewed it yet for season 3.
They probably will, but again, it's
They
never
probably
going to
will.
happen. But I would die of joy if that happened.
Wait, I have an idea
What?
for someone. Kristen Olsen,
I didn't even think of that.
because It's Always Sunny is on Hulu.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Her husband's new show, Welcome to Wrexham, is on Hulu. She is Emmy nominated for Hacks. Or Caitlin Olsen, not Kristen Olsen.
Oh, Caitlin Olsen.
Yeah, that's who I'm thinking of.
Okay, I have an interesting one. I'm
Who do
just
you
going to
have?
throw it out there, and I'll explain the connection
Oh!
afterwards.
And Caitlin Olsen was in Finding Dory.
That's right. Now,
Okay,
this one is a little out there, and I'll
Mhm.
explain why. I'll explain the connection afterwards.
Yeah.
Bernadette Peters.
She's too big a name, I think, for the show. I would love her to do the show. Don't get me wrong. I would love her. But I think she's too big a name for the show.
I feel like every year we get one big name that no one expects. Like, we weren't expecting JoJo when we were predicting stuff.
No, but that was also because she, like, is known as a dancer.
Yeah. But I don't know why. I just have a gut feeling that it's Bernadette.
I don't think it would be Bernadette.
I don't know.
I
I'm not predicting at this point. You know why? Fuck it. I have no one else.
Listen, we're gonna predict, and then we're gonna find out all the names by like Wednesday.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna. Why not just stick with Bernadette Peters for now?
No,
I'm sticking with Bernadette.
I'm still thinking we get someone from Marvel. I just cannot figure out someone from one of the shows. I just don't know.
Yeah.
Who? Because I don't. I would love Iman Vellani, but I don't think it's her.
Yeah.
It's not Tatiana Maslany. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, I'm 100% sure of that. Couple reasons. Oh yeah, you go first.
No, I have to look up the person's name.
Okay. She has a couple Disney connections. Bernadette does. Okay. She was in Anastasia, the movie.
Okay.
And is now owned by Fox.
Yeah.
She's also in the 1997 Cinderella film.
Okay.
The one with Brandy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But one of the big reasons why I thought of her is she was in the Animaniacs, which is on Hulu.
Okay.
And Animaniacs is actually one of Hulu's biggest shows now. They said it beat The Handmaid's Tale in terms of viewership.
All right.
Okay.
I have I have the two names. Ginger Gonzaga, who's on She-Hulk. These are both She-Hulk cast members.
Think of her.
Ginger Gonzaga or Josh Segarra.
Both could happen.
Because Josh Segarra is a little better known. He also has done like musical theater stuff as well. But he's in She-Hulk. He was on a Netflix series. He's been on a couple different CW shows. He's been on quite a few Netflix shows, actually. I didn't realize that. Little guest stars and like small spots here and there. He was on Arrow. He's done so many different things, and yet he's also like not. And he was on the PBS reboot of The Electric Company from like the mid 2000s.
Oh my god, I feel
old. And he played Emilio Estefan in the Gloria Estefan musical.
Oh, that's cool.
So, and I think it's one of those where it's like he's both a large enough and small enough name.
Yeah, that they could get him.
Yeah. And he's on Marvel now.
Yeah. Well, I got
he's the first person. Oh, I remember the name I was going to suggest.
What?
So possible Brandon's partner, Ming-Na Wen,
Oh my god.
the voice of Mulan, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Star Wars.
I hope they do that. And that would
She
be
would be a killer partner.
and that would be the Disney princess connection. Mulan.
There we go. And she's on the older side, but like girlfriend can move.
Yeah.
Like she does most of her own stunts and stuff. Like she would. Oh my! I would die if she did the show. Like legitimately,
It's
I'm sorry,
possible.
Wayne. I'm sorry, Wayne, but I might have to give. It would be so hard. And then Disney Week, they would do something from Mulan, even though we've had so many different reflection and all that stuff. But it would be so good because
It would.
finally we actually have the actual Mulan there on the
Yeah.
show to do it. Oh my god, I am spiraling. I need her to do it now.
There's just so
That
many
was who I was thinking of last night because I'm like, because we're trying to figure out this Marvel connection, and she's got even though like Agents of Shield like is canon, but it's not canon. Like she's also got Star Wars because we haven't had any Star Wars people, and she's a Disney
Billy D.
princess.
Williams.
She's the only person to have all to be part of all three.
Yeah, I can see that. I hope so. All right, I gotta wrap this up. I gotta eat. I gotta have.
I
lunch.
do. I have to have lunch. So,
I have to have lunch too.
fam, it is almost 12 o'clock here. How have you not had lunch yet?
I was
Oh,
doing
we've been
this
here.
and other things. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much for joining. I'm gonna do this again on Sunday because again we'll know all the cast. We'll talk about it more.
We'll check back in a week.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Until then, bye.